Greetings, my dear viewer. You're on the channel The Price of Cheating. The channel is for those who appreciate traditional family values and condemn adultery. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. My name is Michael Miller. The events I'm about to recount happened during a time when my wife Samantha and I had been married for over 20 years. We met in college, fell in love, and got married soon after graduating. Together, we raised two daughters, Emily and Kate, who were just a year apart in age. Emily was a freshman in college, and Kate was finishing up her senior year of high school. 6 weeks earlier, we had taken Emily to her new dorm at a state university about 2 hours away. She moved in with one of her closest friends, and while her absence was palpable, we were excited for her as she started this new chapter. Kate, on the other hand, hadn't finalized her college choice, but there was a good chance she might follow Emily to the same school. The sisters had their fair share of sibling squabbles, but their bond was undeniable. They always supported each other when it counted. With Emily gone, the house felt emptier, quieter. Still, Samantha and I took comfort in knowing she was thriving. At the time, I was a partner at a prominent accounting firm, while Samantha worked as a supervisor for a local building supply company. Despite her degree in English, she had steadily built a successful career after returning to work once our girls were old enough for school. Although my income was higher, we enjoyed a comfortable and secure lifestyle, complete with a lovely home, dependable cars, and occasional indulgences. Samantha seemed content in her role, and our lives followed a steady, predictable rhythm. That Friday, I wrapped up work early, looking forward to a peaceful weekend. With Kate away on a school camping trip until Sunday, I envisioned a rare opportunity for Samantha and me to reconnect. I imagined a romantic evening, dinner at our favorite Italian restaurant, followed by some long overdue time alone. Emily's departure had left a noticeable void, and I hoped this weekend would help us recalibrate as a couple. When I arrived home, I saw that Samantha's car was already parked in the garage, unusual for that time of day. Perhaps she was on the same wavelength, I thought. Excited to share my dinner plans, I walked through the house calling out for her. Not finding her in the kitchen or living room, I made my way to our bedroom. As I moved down the hallway, I called out, "Samantha, are you in the bedroom?" Her voice answered calmly, "Yes, Michael, I'm here." Entering the room, I found her sitting at her vanity, carefully applying makeup. She wore a sleek black dress and the pearl necklace I had gifted her last Christmas. Her matching heels were placed neatly on the floor, and beside them, an overnight bag sat open, partially packed with casual clothing and lingerie. Taken aback, I asked, "Wow, Samantha, you look amazing. Did I forget we had plans? Where are we going? I can get ready in a flash." She looked up at me, her expression serious. "Michael, we need to talk," she began. "I was planning to tell you later, but since you're home early, we might as well discuss it now. I have plans this weekend. A date." For a moment, I froze, unable to process her words. "A date? What are you talking about? We've never discussed anything remotely like an open marriage. Is this some kind of elaborate joke? Tell me you're planning something for us and this is your way of surprising me." She exhaled deeply, as if she had rehearsed this moment. "Michael, it's just for the weekend. I'll be back by Sunday and everything will go back to normal. I've been feeling lost since Emily left and I need this. It's something I'm doing for myself. One weekend out of the years we've been together, it won't change anything, and it might even help us." I struggled to form a coherent response. "Samantha, how long have you been planning this? Who is this man? Are you leaving me for him?" "No," she replied firmly. "I love you, Michael. I'm not leaving you. He's just a friend, a married friend actually. We've had lunch a few times and he makes me feel alive. I didn't want to lie to you or cheat, so I'm being honest. This is about me, not us." Her words felt foreign, rehearsed, as though spoken by a stranger. She continued, "I'm not getting any younger, Michael. He finds me attractive, and it's given me a confidence boost. Can't you see? It's one weekend. I'll come back and we'll move forward." I could barely contain my disbelief. "So, one weekend of what? Rediscovering yourself? And this won't affect us at all? Samantha, listen to yourself. You don't sound like the woman I married." Her composure didn't waver, Michael, it's just a small moment in our lives. I love you, and this won't change that. Please, try to understand. I stood there, grappling with the absurdity of the situation. Then, a thought crossed my mind. Fighting to keep my voice even, I asked, "So, you're really going through with this?" "Yes," she replied confidently, "but it doesn't have to change anything." Forcing a smile, I responded, "All right then. If you're convinced this won't have consequences, so be it. If this is how things stand, I might as well make plans for my weekend too. But you need to promise me one thing. Keep your phone on, so I can contact you if something urgent happens." Samantha paused, her eyes locked on mine as though searching for something unsaid. After what felt like an eternity, she sighed and agreed. "Fine, I'll leave it on, but only if you swear not to call me unless it's truly necessary, and absolutely no tracking me." "Deal," I replied with a strained smile. "But you can still reconsider, you know." She didn't answer, turning back toward her vanity table, effectively signaling that the discussion was over. Uneasy, I retreated to my office, the weight of the situation pressing on me. It felt like my world had shifted on its axis. My fingers hovered over my phone, scrolling through my contacts until I stopped at a name I hadn't dialed in years. I pressed the call button. When the line connected, I said, "Hi, this is Michael Miller." The voice on the other end, warm and unmistakably familiar, replied with surprise, "Michael? Wow, it's been ages." It was Anna Pierce, once my assistant and a close confidant. "Anna, how have you been?" I asked, her voice unlocking memories I hadn't visited in years. Anna had been a remarkable assistant during my climb up the corporate ladder. Back then, I was still a senior associate, a few steps away from making partner. Her husband, Matt, had been a promising executive, and together they had a young son, Luke. But tragedy had struck when Matt died in a car accident 5 years ago. I had supported Anna through her loss, helping her secure a settlement that ensured her financial future. Our connection had grown stronger during those months, even veering toward something deeper, but out of respect for my marriage, we had parted ways. Hearing her voice now stirred up all those old emotions. "I'm not doing great," I admitted after a pause. "Samantha just told me she's spending the weekend with another man. She claims it's a one-time thing, but I don't even know how to process it." There was silence on her end before she spoke, her tone steady but empathetic. "Michael, I'm so sorry. I can't believe she'd do this. I always thought your marriage was solid." "So did I said bitterly, explaining the situation in greater detail. She listened closely, and her response surprised me. "Look, Luke's staying with his grandparents this weekend. If you need someone to talk to, you're welcome to come over. I was planning on a quiet weekend, but I'd be glad for the company." Her offer felt like a lifeline. We decided I'd pick her up in an hour. Preparing to leave, I felt an odd mix of nervousness and relief, as though reconnecting with her might help anchor me. When I arrived, Anna greeted me warmly. We chose an Italian restaurant for dinner, the same one I had originally planned to take Samantha to. Conversation flowed effortlessly between us, and as the evening went on, it was as though the years apart had melted away. By the time the weekend ended, I felt as though I had reclaimed a piece of myself that I hadn't realized was missing. Driving home, a sense of clarity mingled with apprehension. I knew the confrontation awaiting me was inevitable, but for the first time I felt ready to face it. As I pulled into the driveway, Samantha's car in the garage confirmed her return. Bracing myself, I walked inside. Samantha emerged from the living room, dragging her overnight bag behind her. She looked momentarily surprised to see me, but quickly masked it with a cheery tone. "Hey, sweetheart. I knew you'd be here waiting for me, see? I'm still the same wife you married. You're amazing for letting me take this break. I'll make it up to you, I promise. Maybe I'll wear something special, and we can have our own little celebration before Kate comes home." Her casual demeanor sparked a cold anger in me, though I kept it under control. Instead, I moved to the side table where my phone lay, recording the conversation, a precaution I had decided was necessary. "Samantha, don't insult my intelligence," I said, my voice steady but firm. "I know what this weekend was really about. It wasn't some innocent getaway." Her expression faltered. Guilt, maybe? Or surprise? She avoided my eyes as she replied, Michael, I told you, it was just one weekend. It was meant to help us, to help me. I thought you'd understand. Understand? I took a step closer, my tone sharp. You expect me to believe you needed to sleep with someone else to feel alive? And that it only happened once? Her face flushed, a mixture of defiance and discomfort. Look, she said, her voice quieter now. He's married too, with young kids. He's not leaving his wife. It was just an experience, Michael. It doesn't change how I feel about you. It changes everything for me, I said coldly. You threw away our marriage for something you claim was meaningless. She shook her head, frustration creeping into her voice. You're being dramatic. Her words hung in the air, but their impact was irreversible. I realized then that no explanation or excuse could undo what had been done. This wasn't just a moment of betrayal. It was the beginning of the end, and there was no turning back. He made me feel seen, Michael, like I mattered. You can't imagine what it's like to have someone look at you as if you're the most beautiful thing in the world. Is that right? I asked, keeping my tone steady, though it carried a sharp edge. And now what? Do we pretend nothing happened, only for you to run back to him the next time you feel overlooked? Her jaw tightened, her voice trembling with emotion. I told you I'm not going back to him. I just needed one moment, one weekend to feel like I was more than a shadow, like I was someone worth noticing. I shook my head, the weight of betrayal crushing down on me. A shadow? Samantha, you've never been a shadow to me. But when you walked out of this house with him, you made me feel like one. Her eyes fell, my words landing with the impact I intended. Regret clouded her expression for the first time. I'm sorry, Michael. I thought I could take that moment, come back, and we'd return to how things were. To how things were? A bitter laugh escaped me. There's no going back to how things were. And while you were gone, I found someone who's always made me feel seen. Anna. Her face froze, disbelief and pain mingling in her features. You didn't— I did, I interrupted, my voice calm but unyielding. I spent the weekend with Anna. For the first time in years, I felt like myself. The truth hung in the air, raw and unfiltered. Anna always respected my marriage, even after she lost her husband. We never crossed a line because she knew how much my vows meant to me. But when you left, you gave me a reason to reconnect with her. Samantha sank into a chair, her hands trembling. I can't believe this. I didn't think— No, you didn't think, I said sharply. If you had, you'd have realized the damage you were causing. The silence that followed was suffocating. Finally, her voice broke through, barely audible. What happens now? I took a deep breath, my decision settling heavily in my chest. I'm filing for divorce, Samantha. This marriage can't survive what you've done. Her head shot up, her eyes wide with desperation. Michael, please. I know I was wrong, selfish and foolish, but can't we try? Counseling, anything? I was just so lost. It's too late, I replied firmly. You made your choice when you left, and I've made mine. Anna and I have reconnected, and I'm not letting go of what I feel for her. My words lingered in the air as Samantha's face crumbled. She began to sob quietly, wrapping her arms around herself, trying in vain to hold together the pieces of her shattered world. I'll be fair, I said after a pause, my tone softening slightly. I'll make sure you're financially secure and you can keep the house, but I can't stay with you. She nodded weakly, defeated. I picked up my phone and stopped the recording I had started, a record of our final conversation. Though the decision tore at me, it felt necessary. There was no turning back. Later that evening, I called Emily, who was away at college, and gently broke the news. She was devastated, but agreed to wait before reaching out to her mother or sister until I could explain further. When Kate returned from camp, I told her as well. She was shaken, but tried to understand, sensing the gravity of the situation. In the weeks that followed, everything changed. I stayed in the guest room temporarily to help Kate adjust, but soon moved into a small apartment. I focused on supporting my daughters while deepening my connection with Anna. True to my word, I worked out a fair settlement with Samantha, ensuring her financial stability. To her credit, she accepted the terms without resentment. When others asked about the divorce, she initially claimed we had grown apart, but over time she admitted her mistake and took responsibility. Months passed, and Anna and I began building a new chapter together. Surrounded by family and close friends, we celebrated an intimate wedding, with Emily and Kate giving their heartfelt blessings. Standing beside Anna that day, I felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude and peace. In time, Anna convinced me that fatherhood wasn't behind me. After a successful vasectomy reversal, we welcomed 2 children into our lives. Our son, Matt, carried the name of Anna's late husband, while our daughter, Maddie, honored my mother. Watching them grow brought a joy I had never imagined. Even Anna's son, Luke, and I developed a close bond, and I became the father figure he'd longed for. Years later, on a warm summer afternoon at Emily's wedding, the past resurfaced briefly. Samantha approached with her new husband, Nicholas, a kind man with a warm demeanor. During a quiet moment, she turned to me, her expression a mix of regret and acceptance. "I'm sorry for everything, Michael," she said softly. "I'm happy for you, truly, but I'll always wonder what might have been." I met her gaze, my voice steady and sincere. "I forgive you, Samantha. We both found the lives we were meant to have. I wish you and Nicholas all the happiness in the world." I kissed her forehead gently and turned back to Anna, taking her hand in mine. Together we walked to the dance floor. As we swayed to the music, I looked into her radiant smile, filled with gratitude for the love, trust, and second chances that had defined our life. This concludes the story. If you like it, then put your powerful like and subscribe to the channel.